Ever get that, like when a YouTube channel you're really into just stops, goes quiet?
Yeah.
It's like, wait, what happened? Did they get bored? Did life get in the way? Turns out, a lot of times, it's burnout.
And it's not just needing a break, it's systemic, the pressures creators deal with.
Totally. And today's deep dive is, well, it's about getting real about that.
Yeah.
We're using this essay. It's by a YouTuber, super honest about his experience.
What makes his story stand out, I think, is he wasn't some newbie. Over 300,000 subscribers, so he'd found an audience.
Had his niche, too. RC helicopters, gadgets.
Yeah.
Very specific, right?
Proving there was a demand for it.
Exactly. So things are working, and then bam, YouTube changes their algorithm. Big time.
Always fun, right?
Imagine you spend years building a business, and overnight the city's like, nope, new traffic pattern, good luck.
That's what these algorithm shifts are like. Devastating. This creator, he called it a punch to the gut.
He was going along, steady growth, then suddenly it's like shouting into the void.
All that work, invisible.
Ugh. And that feeling, working harder but getting nowhere. Relatable even if you're not on YouTube.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
And on top of that, he's a solo creator doing everything themselves.
Oh, right. Not a whole team.
Brainstorming, filming, editing, the whole 9 yards. And he's a husband and dad.
So no off switch, basically.
Many creators are essentially micro businesses, but without the support a real business would have.
And then it gets tougher. His family had to move from China to the UAE. Life stuff out of his control, but financially, huge impact.
Rebuilding your life and your income in one of the most expensive places in the world.
Brutal. He talks about driving this old car, 20 years old, cutting back on everything. His kids even had to leave school.
It's not just about making videos anymore, it's basic survival.
Man, that really gets to you. Makes you realize how fragile it all is, you know?
One change, and your whole world's different.
And still, he wants to create, to provide for the people who are still there watching.
It's that tension, right? Passion versus pressure with real-life stakes.
He's trying to make it work, though, right? Like adapting. Side hustles, 3D product design. He even offered channel memberships, exclusive content, tutorials, things people were asking for.
Which makes sense, diversify a bit.
But that becomes part of the problem, doesn't it?
It's that constant hustle draining your energy, even if it's good work,
And not always appreciated either. He mentions people complaining about $5 a month for his tutorials.
$5.
Right. And these are in-depth, could save you money if you're into this hobby, but $5 for a coffee, no problem.
It's how we value things, right?
Yeah.
Especially online. Everything's going to be free, so the work behind it, it's like invisible.
And then there's the comparison game. I think everyone feels this sometimes, even offline. He talks about seeing other YouTubers blow up millions of views.
While you're grinding away.
Yeah. And he feels like some of them not even putting in the same effort, or the content's not as good.
Yeah.
But they're the ones taking off.
Oh, it messes with your head. It's human nature, that comparison, but social media, amplified times 100.
Because you're seeing everyone's best, curated, right?
Exactly. Easy to forget. Everyone's struggling somewhere.
And for him, it got to him, you can tell. Feeling hopeless, even resentful.
That's the deeper burnout, yeah. Not just tired, but like, what's the point?
Exactly. Like you pour your heart in, but
Right.
is it even worth it? It all just piles up, doesn't it? Algorithm messes with you. Got to constantly make more stuff.
And the money's always uncertain.
Right. Plus, you're on your own, basically.
Isolated.
Yeah, and then you see everyone else seemingly killing it online. Recipe for disaster.
And it's not just him or even just YouTube. This is across the board. Anyone trying to make a living creatively online. Writers, musicians, podcasters. It's rough out there.
Makes you wonder, Like he had found his people, 300,000 of them, making good stuff.
Yeah.
If he's barely holding on, what's that say about the whole thing? Can anyone make it long term?
Big question. And he asks for support at the end of this essay. Not just money, though that matters, but like a shift in how we think.
About the work itself?
Yeah, especially digital stuff. We're so used to free. It's like we forget there's a person behind it, putting in the hours.
He said people called him greedy for the $5 tutorials, but those same people, $5 on a coffee is nothing.
Exactly. Makes you think about what we value.
What we're willing to pay for versus what we expect for free, yeah.
And it's not always about the money itself either, just showing you care. A like, a comment, sharing with a friend. Those take seconds.
But to the creator, that's huge.
Huge. And if you can support financially, a membership, a donation, buying their merch, that could be what keeps someone going.
rather than burning out and giving up entirely.
Because talent doesn't equal endless energy, right? Got to support the folks who want to keep creating.
Couldn't agree more. So next time you're enjoying any content online, take a second, think about the person behind it. What's it worth to you? Maybe more than a click, maybe even more than a like. Even a little support goes a long way in building a future where creators can thrive. That's it for today's deep dive. We'll be back next time with another look behind the scenes of the creator economy.